Okay, so now we're going to go into the warm-up. So it's going to be a nice, simple, easy warm-up. So if you're ambulant, we're going to jog on the spot. And if you're seated or in a chair, then we're going to do a version of a star jump, okay? So I'm going to run through the first two first, different options, and then I'll go through the other two exercises. Okay, so simply, if you're ambulant then, so all you're going to be doing is jogging on the spot. So lift the knees, arms and legs, hard and as fast as you can. Try and get the knees as high as you can. So we're going to do that for 30 seconds, okay? So you can set a timer for that. And then, so if you're in a chair then, or you're not, your balance isn't great, all we're going to do here then is we're just going to leave out the jump of the star jump, but we're still going to use the arm movement, okay? So down to the side and then just up overhead. So we're going to do that nice and fast. So we'll do that for 30 seconds then, okay? So you'll either be doing the jogging on the spot, or you'll be doing kind of the seated kind of version of star jump without the jump, okay? So then after those then, we're going to grab a band if you have one, and we're going to do some band dislocates, okay? So everyone's mobility is going to be different. So some people will be able to get further than the others. So what we'll try and do is start off, if you can only get to here, that's where you're getting to, okay? So gradually as the weeks go on, we'll try and get back to here a little bit, then to here, and then all the way down, okay? So I'll show you the full thing first. So we're just going to do 5 to 6 that way. So a slight little bend in the arms. Just like that, okay? So if you have poor flexibility, go a little bit wider with the band. You might find you can only go to there. That's okay, go to there and come down. Bring it up, and then try and reach a little bit more overhead the next time, okay? So we're going to do 5 to 6 of those, okay? And if you don't have a band, what you can do is you can use a scarf or even a towel, anything at all. So you can have it here, just do the same movement, up over the head, if that's as far as you can go, down, up over the head, that's as far as you can go, try pushing a little bit further, down, and if you can go all the way, then try and do that then, okay? So 5 to 6 of those, with your band or your scarf. And then the next one then, so we'll be stretching the front of the shoulder here then, okay? So you're going to have your band, put it over your shoulder, going to grab it with your opposite hand here like this, just so you can see it back. So we're going to bring that back hand up as far up our back as we can. Then with this front part, we're just going to pull it down across the chest, okay? So you should feel it here in the shoulder. So we're bringing that over there, stretching the front, so you can hold that for about 10 seconds. Then we'll swap over, put the band over the other shoulder, bring the opposite hand up the back, and then we'll pull down at the front then, okay? Just like that. So we'll hold that for about 10 seconds, and then we'll go back into our jogging or our movement. Okay, so you can do the same thing with the scarf or a skipping rope or anything you have. Arm up the back. And then pull down at the front, okay? So you might find this one very, very tight here at the front, okay? So hold that for 10 seconds. And then we'll go on to the other side then, okay? So what way we'll work that is then, you'll be doing 30 seconds of your jogging on the spot, or your seated star jump, bringing the arms over the head. Then we'll be going to band dislocates, so with your band or your scarf, bringing over that way. And then we'll be stretching the front of the shoulder then with the band over the front, pulling down, and then stretching the front of the shoulder. So we could do 10 seconds each side on that one then, okay? So that's the warm up, and we'll do 2 rounds of each of those exercises then, okay? Okay, so the next exercise we're going to do is Lean Lat, okay? So I'm going to use a 1 kg med ball. You can use, if you don't have a med ball, if you put a litre of water into a bag, so just something you can hold this way then, okay? So with this one then, I'm just going to do the standing version. So you're going to have your feet in against the wall, back flat, head against the wall, okay? So you're going to start with the weight here, push it out, bring it in, up over the head, then we're going to go left, back into the middle, over to the right, back into the middle, and then down. So that's 1 rep, okay? So we'll be going for 3 to 4 sets, probably 8 to 10 reps, okay? So unlike the other ones, this one is nice and slow and controlled. And then just make sure you're breathing in and out when you're doing it then, okay? So I'll just run through another few. In, out, up overhead. Keep the arms straight when you're overhead. Over to the left, back into the centre. Back over to the right, back to the centre. So that's 2. Back into the centre, over to the right, keeping those arms nice and straight. Just like that. So just make sure that the back is flat against the wall, try to keep the head against the wall as well. So push out, come in, up overhead, and rather than having the arms bent here, really have them straight and as tall as you can. So nice and long with the arms, over to the side, back into the centre, back over to the other side, and then back in, okay? So you do 8 to 10 that way. The main muscles of this one then you're working will be all around the shoulders, triceps, a little bit in the back, and then your obliques here then on the side then, okay? So if you don't have a medicine ball, you can even use a 1 kg weight. Just make sure when you have it up here that whatever, if you have a bag, a weight, medicine ball, that's actually touching the wall. That's not coming away from the wall, okay? And then you're keeping those arms nice and straight. Okay, so that's the Lean Lat exercise. Next exercise we have up is the shoulder shrugs, okay? So this one is working the muscles up here, just the kind of top of the shoulder, the kind of spongy muscles there, the traps, and a little bit of the rear delts as well, okay? So for this one, I'll go through the standing version first again, and then the seated version. So I have 2 dumbbells here. You can use water bottles. So feet shoulder width apart, soft knees again, core nice and tight, head up, shoulders back. Okay, for this one then you can probably go a little bit heavier with your weights. So you're going to have the weights in by your sides, okay? And then the main thing with this one then is keeping the arms straight. Your head and neck are nice and relaxed. And then all you're going to do then is try and lift the shoulders towards your ears. So you're going to lift up, they're going to go a little bit back, squeeze, and then drop down. Okay? So up again, squeeze, and then down. Up again, squeeze, and then back down. Okay? So what you don't want to do with this one is, so you're bending your arms here. So let's say the arms are bent here to start, and you're going like that. So that's not a full range of motion, so keep the arms nice and long, the weights by the sides, and then we'll shrug up, pause for a second, and then come down and down, okay? So try to keep the head up, and you're looking forward, and then down, okay? So the tempo for this one then is, so you're going up nice and fast, pause for a second, and then nice and controlled on the way down. And then the breathing on this one then, so you're breathing out on the way up, and then in on the way down, okay? So that's the standing version. So I'll show you the seated version then with the water bottles. So again, same thing as some of the other ones. You might be better getting out of your wheelchair for this one. because you want that bit of clearance each side, so you don't want the wheels in your way. So I have 2 litre bottles of water again. So same thing, down by the sides, head up, chest out, looking forward, arms nice and long, shrug up, pause for a second, and then come down then, okay? So just make sure when you shrug up, that you squeeze really tight, and then down nice and slow, okay? So up, and then down. So we'll do one more. Now when you're shrugging up, just shrug back a little bit as well. So you're going up, and then back a little bit, and then down, okay? So for this one then, you kind of have to do this one with 2 weights, one in each hand. I wouldn't do this single side, I do with both weights, and compared to the other exercises you could probably go a lot heavier. If the water bottles are too light, what you can do is just fill up 2 bags, so you know, like 2 school bags, 2 gear bags, and use the handles, fill those up with even more water bottles or more weight, and then you can shrug up and down that way then. So sets and reps to this one, say 8 to 10 again, 3 to 4 sets, and then the rest anywhere from 40 seconds to a minute between the sets. So that's the shoulder shrugs then. One of the last exercises we're going to do then are wrist extensions, okay? So this one is working our the forearm and the wrist extensors. Okay, so we're going to set up just with the arm on a table or a bench or whatever you can get your hands on. We're just going to have the palm facing down. We'll have the weight in one hand, and all we're going to do is drop it down and then bring it up to the top. So nice and slow and controlled with this one, and then bring it up, down, up again. So nice and slow and controlled tempo with this one. So you don't need to go too heavy with this one. I have a 1 kg dumbbell. You might go 500 milliliter bottle of water, 2 litre bottle of water, or 1 litre bottle of water, whatever you have. Or you can use maybe a bag and just fill it up with some weight and then just hold on to it and bring it up and down like that. Okay, so as I said, the tempo is very slow. Sets and reps, then we'll go for 3 to 4 sets and probably 15 to 20 reps on this one. Okay, so you'll do 15 to 20 on the right, and then you'll swap over to the left. So just make sure with this one then that all your hand isn't over the edge, or you're not too far back this way. So just where your wrist kind of meets your forearm, that's where you're going. Then you're going to drop down and then bring up, just like that then, okay? So that's the wrist extensions exercise. Wrist curls, okay? So this one is working the forearm again and our wrist flexors now this time. So last one, palm was facing down. This one, the palm is going to be facing up, okay? So just to break the wrist there on the bench or the table, you'll have your weight here, drop it down, and then curl it up. Okay, drop down nice and slow, and then curl up. Okay, so with these last 2 exercises, make sure that the forearm is resting on the table or the bench, and it's not lifting up. Okay, so down nice and slow, up. So again, the tempo with this one, nice and slow all the way through. There's no fast or jerky movements. Okay, so all the way down, come up, down again. So again, we'll go 3 to 4 sets, 15 to 20 reps, and do both right and left sides, okay? So I'm just going to do a few on the left here. Drop down, curl up, just like that. So if you're wearing a watch wrap, just take it off for that one, okay? So down nice and slow. That's it. So you should really feel a burn when you're doing these ones. Okay, and then the rest time for these, then again, you can go anywhere from kind of 40 seconds to a minute. So that's the wrist curls. So that's the last exercise now for this 4-week block.